bashes Trump, not laughing after she sees who's in the crowd. The former press secretary for Bernie Sanders was and still is an illegal alien here in America. Too bad for her, she's in some hot water after publicly attacking President Donald Trump, and let's just say she wasn't laughing after seeing who was in the crowd at a recent event. Criminals became rather emboldened under the administration of Barack Obama. As we saw during the past 8 years before Trump took office, the DOJ was directed not to enforce certain laws that conflicted with the liberal agenda. Agencies such as Border Patrol and the Department of Defense were effectively handcuffed and not allowed to do their jobs. Of course, morale in those organizations was in a downward spiral, and harm was being done to our country in the process. As a result of Obama's abysmal policies, illegal immigration flourished, and so did the crime that came with those already breaking the law to gain entry into America. When people in other countries heard that our borders were virtually left open, the number of attempts to enter America spiked as well. With violent illegal aliens being sent home in droves, Border Patrol now keeping our country safe, and a huge wall well on its way to being built, those who seem to think America should have open borders are having a fit. Take, for instance, Bernie Sanders' former press secretary, Erica Andiola, who recently decided to attack Trump publicly, the Gateway pundit reports. Hoping to force Democrats to bend to her will when it comes to so-called dreamers, Andiola is demanding that Democrat politicians deny any and all spending bills until Trump accepts and writes a Clean Dream Act allowing for illegal immigrants who came here as children to remain in the country. In short, she wants to do away with Trump's evil anti-illegal immigration plan. In order to do that, she and a small group of friends took to Chuck Schumer's office to make their demands known. At the end of the day, Trump would need 60 votes to pass any spending bill through the Senate, so, essentially, all the Democrats would need to do is remain firm since they have the numbers, as there are 51 Republicans and 49 Democrats. Too bad for Erica Andiola, things went terribly wrong while she was at Chuck Schumer's office. Before long, she noticed that her crowd was getting a bit bigger, and that's about the time she saw who else was among them. Come to find out, it looks like even Schumer didn't want to deal with the entitled brats and called the cops, but things only got better from there. After refusing to leave, Andiola and her gang were arrested and taken into custody, where things only continued to get worse for them. Since the Department of Justice is now under the command of Trump, law enforcement is doing its job yet again. Reports indicate that local law enforcement has contacted Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Erica Andiola is now potentially facing deportation. It just goes to show that if you're a criminal, you better think twice before openly bragging about it and exposing that fact to the police. Honestly, people like Andiola aren't doing their side any favors. As non-citizens, you don't get to make demands of what we do here, what policy is pursued, or how our taxpayer money is spent. At best, you can hope that something goes your way, but at the end of the day, you aren't entitled to jack squat, as the Constitution and Bill of Rights only outlines freedoms granted to legal citizens. They may want to get that through their thick heads before they get their butts thrown back to wherever they came from. Share the story and leave a comment by clicking one of the buttons below. Follow us on Facebook at Mad World News.